Alrighty, so welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be building a fold down bench for the side of a Toyota Coaster. So step one is to buy some of these folding L brackets. I bought these from an Australian website called Vivo, and they're about $30 each, and they're rated to a weight of about 200 kgs, which is more than enough to cover the weight of the wood that's being used on this table, and enough to cover for all the weight of the things that we might plan to put onto it. Now, when I started this project, my initial idea was to have the table fold up like this. However, I did notice that as I started to put it together, the table would sort of hang down here by the wheel well. I didn't think that would be too good, especially if we drove through some mud or a puddle or something like that, and then we've got mud and crap all over the table. So I decided to swap it up to the top and basically have it sitting up like that, so that it folded down like that. And now, to mitigate the risk of the table falling down whilst driving, I have put a clamp here, and I'm planning to put another clamp here, and then another one on this piece of wood here, so that they're not all attached to the top. An extra safety catch is I have drilled a locking pin through the bottom of this bracket and through the top of that bracket, so that it physically cannot fall down whilst driving if this pin is in it. So it has 5 anchor points, not including the 9 bolts that are holding it securely to the base of the bus. Now, in order to create this table, I have attached the 2 outside brackets first to the side of the bus, measuring carefully to make sure it's centered and straight. The most important part of this is not just to drill into the side of the wall of the bus, as this is not sufficient to hold the weight of the table. So what I've done is I've taken the spare pieces of wood and drilled those into the sidewall membranes that run into the chassis, and then smashed bolts with washers through that wood and bolted it down tightly. So basically the weight is distributed not only onto these 3 bolts here, but onto the whole inside membrane of this piece of wood, similar to how the outside of the bus is attached to it, if that makes sense. Now, on the outside of the brackets, what I've done is I've put a bead of silicone down here surrounding the holes, and then I've also put a piece of rubber in between the metal and the bus to ensure that no water is getting through these holes. Once those have been attached properly, I got some pre-oiled wood from Bunnings and cut it to length and measured out how wide I would like the table to sit from the edge of the bus to the edge of the table. I didn't want it to come all the way out to the end of the brackets. The original brackets come out to about here, but I didn't want to compromise how much weight we could put on the table instead of having a longer table, because technically, you know, you can only have a table so wide, and if it's going to be a decision between having a wider table and only being able to put a few plates on it, or having a shorter table and being able to put a barbecue on it, I'm going with the barbecue. It's pretty simple really, but I wanted to inset these bolts into the wood to give it a cleaner look. So I got a small hole saw to make sort of like a half cut hole, so that the bolts and the washers sat pretty relatively flush with the edge of the wood. After that, I bolted the rest of the wood on in the same way. And then I cut and folded these brackets backwards so that there was no sharp edges left over. After that, I put these brackets on, and these actually had a piece of second skin metal on the inside, which I used as a bracket instead of a piece of wood. All in all, it's turned out really great, and I'm super excited to use it and to not be cooking on the ground or to be lugging around a separate table with us anymore. One thing that I would say is I'd probably use a different wood, as when it rained, unfortunately the oil spat it up and, you know, sort of mixed with the water, and it's actually stained the edge of my beautiful paint job that I've done. On that note, if you'd like to see a video on how we Raptor coated this bus for less than 3,000 Australian dollars, then feel free to check out this video here. Other than that, next up on the bus build, we will be building an awning so that we have some shade from the fierce Australian sun, and then rebuilding a new shelf in the space of where I removed the old shelf from the bus, Yeah, because I ripped out all the old cabinets that were behind this table so that I could secure it all in place. Look, can I go up? Ready? Ooh, is it strong enough for Sasha? Oh, can you sit down? For the meantime, I've got to go pack because we're actually flying to New Zealand tomorrow morning to go film a month's worth of weddings. So if you or anyone that you know is getting married and wants quality photography, videography, or any other type of media to help savor the memories of your special day, then please feel free to visit our extensive portfolio at www.mahimedia.au. Other than that, if you'd like to support the channel, go grab one of these shirts with the skateboarding dinosaur and the words "Are we having fun yet?" written on the back. Otherwise, go check out the rest of the bus build playlist to see more of how we've put this ridiculous rig together. And enjoy your new bench top, and we'll see you on the next one. Oh, I was gonna put it up all cool, but it didn't quite work. What we got there? I'm really happy with it, eh? Like, it's a little bit clunky. I mean, if it's stupid but it works, it's not stupid, is it?